Good morning everyone, and I know I promised that we would be cooking some cheese scones. I promised you the recipe, so I videoed this for you all over the holiday, and hopefully we can get involved in it. I thought it would be a great time to introduce you to baking, because everybody must be watching the great Stand Up to Cancer Bake Off with the celebrities, which is great fun. So I thought we can do our own bake off and you can do your own baking. And at the end of the video, I'll upload the numbers so we can all donate to Stand Up to Cancer if you want to. So today we're going to start by making some cheese scones and some fruit scones with the same ingredients. Okay, so here goes. So to start with, we need to have 130 grams of self-raising flour. Make sure you save your flour, because that's how you get your bakes to rise. The finer the flour is, the better it'll rise. So make sure you sieve your flour. You also need to have a teaspoon of baking powder, which again is another raising agent to help them rise. You must make sure your baking powder is in date, otherwise they won't rise as much. So always check your date on your baking powder. And because we're doing cheese scones, we're going to use 60 grams of low-fat cheddar cheese I'm using. You can use any cheese, but obviously it's the lighter way. And we need to have a teaspoon of whole grain mustard. So that's that one there. And we are going to be using 180 grams of fat-free Greek yogurt, and that's how we keep our scones light. And more healthy than general scones. They don't rise as good as other scones, but they are quite good and they're quite tasty. So if we were doing fruit scones, what we would do is we would take the cheese and the mustard out, and we would just add the fruit that you wanted, such as raisins or currants, cranberries, whatever. So this is the basis I'm going to show you, and then you can make cheese or fruit scones. So cheese scones. So we'll have our self-raising flour, and now we're going to put all the ingredients together. Okay, so we're going to start. You need a palette knife, and I'm going to use a palette knife to mix it together. Because that's easier. It's quite a sticky recipe, so you may need to add more flour in. So in we go with our Greek yogurt. And we need also to have 60 grams of cheese. I'm just going to use this. We need 60 grams of cheese, and I'm just going to put it straight into my bowl. So put it on a 0 so I can see, and in we go with 60 grams of cheese. You can leave a little bit sprinkled on the top of your scones as well, which always is quite nice. So about 60 grams of cheese, and we need 1 teaspoon of baking powder. I really should have mixed the baking powder together with the flour before I put the other ingredients in. So you can mix your baking powder with your flour before you put the other ingredients in. And we also need to have a teaspoon of mustard. This is whole grain mustard. So in we'll go with that. Gives it a nice taste, nice flavour. Now all we need to do is mix all these ingredients together nicely. So in we go with it, get them all mixed up. It's easier to use a knife rather than your hands at first, because it's quite sticky, as I say, so it keeps it together better. And then when it gets okay, we can use our hands. Make sure it's fully mixed in. Okay, dead easy. where you can bake. Okay, so you're going to need a little 4cm cutter for the scones to cut them out. So I'm going to be using a silicone mat, but you can do it on the bench. Just make sure it's floured, and you may need some more flour for your hands because it does get quite sticky. Just got a little bit of flour in a bowl in case I need it. The cookie cutter, always, it's a good idea, is to dip that in your flour also to prevent it from sticking. So let's get our hands in, get our dough together. I'm just going to start with a little bit and see how it feels. And just pat it down. Okay, so about a centimetre thick or whatever. Depends how high you want your scones to go. See how sticky it is? So I'm just going to rub some flour on my hands, which I should have done in the first place. So rub some flour on your hands and just pat away. If you think it's still a bit too sticky, just add a little bit of flour on the top, but not too much. Right, when you're happy with the height of it, flour your cutter and in you go. So 1, 2, 3, and put that dough back together. Grab some more out of your bowl. You might need to flour your hands again. You'll probably need some more flour for your ingredients because it's a bit sticky. And again, you don't need to do much with it. Just pat it together. Round we go. One, 2, get some more out of the bowl, put it together, pattern it down to the size you want. About 1 centimetre thick will do. So it depends how many scones you get really for how thickness you're doing it. Generally get about 10. So there we have 9. This last little bit here is going to be just nice for the last scone. So I'm just going to round it like that. If you think you've got too much left over, just do another scone. It doesn't matter how many you do. Put that together like that. And there's my scones. Now what you need to have is a baking sheet. And I've got baking powder on top of mine. Baking paper, sorry. And I'm just going to wash my hands first because they're quite sticky. So you might want to wash your hands. We're going to put our scones onto the baking sheet. So off we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, now all we need to do is sprinkle them, just give them a spray rather than milk or egg, which is obviously more calories. All we're going to do is use our low fat calorie spray. So our fry light 1 cal, and just give them a little spray on the top from a height, so not too much. And then they go in the oven for about 12 minutes. And I've got my oven, it's already been preheated at 180 degrees. So that's my oven, it's already preheated at roughly 180 degrees. And this should take about 12 minutes. So in we go, the cheese scones. We'll close them up. It's a little bit high and we'll just leave them. Put your timer on. For 12 minutes. Then off we'll go. Okay, so while they're baking away nicely, I'm going to show you how to make quickly, with exactly the same ingredients, a fruit scone. Okay, so same process as before. We need to have 135 grams of self-raising flour, and don't forget to sieve it, because remember that gives you the air bubbles that's in it. The finer it is, the better the rise. So 135 grams of self-raising flour. Oh, I put a bit too much in there. There we go. Right, just sieve that in. It's nice and fine, getting some air bubbles in it. Some recipes ask you to sieve it more than once, just so that you get more air in. Because we're using yogurt, they don't rise as good as some of the other cheese scones that you see around, but they're only little and they're what you need, and they're low calorie, so they're good. You're getting all the taste and all the flavour, but with less calories. So here we go. This is our second scones. And remember, when you're doing your hashtag this time, for hashtag St. Aidan's Can Cook, hashtag Andrew's Cook With Me, also add in hashtag Stand Up to Cancer. And don't forget to donate. So we also going to add a teaspoon of baking powder. Now I'm going to show you that I'm sieving that this time. And we'll go with our baking powder. All done. And I'm just going to give that a little stir before I add any other ingredients to make sure they're nicely combined. There. We still need 180 grams of Greek fat yogurt. So in we go with the Greek fat yogurt. 180 grams. Dead easy recipe, this one. You'll not forget this one. Greek yogurt. And this time, instead of using the cheese and the mustard, I'm going to use sultanas and cranberries. So I'm going to use the same amount, about 60 grams. So a handful of sultanas. And I'm also going to put some cranberries in, dried cranberries, because they're lovely sweet flavour as well. It doesn't matter if you put a little bit extra or a little bit less in. It's up to you, really. You can use different fruit, of course. You could use dried apricots or anything that you like. So again, we're going to mix it together with our palette knife rather than our hands, because it's sticky. I'm just going to make sure they all combine nicely. So it's very versatile, this. You can put what you want in your scones, really. It's up to you. Don't forget to upload all your pictures of them when they're done. With hashtag St. Aidan's Can Cook. Hashtag Andrea's Cook With Me. And this time we're going to hashtag Stand Up to Cancer for the Great British Bake Off. Some of the celebrities make me laugh on there. Eh, dear me. Some of the disasters. And then some of them, they're all giving it a go. We've done really well. So we doesn't matter what it turns out like, we've given it a go, haven't we? So you're okay. Right, off we go. In this tried and trusted recipe, you'll be fine. So, flour on your hands. It's very sticky. Grab a bit of your mixture. Again, just pat it down. Don't need to play with it. Just going to pat it down. And we need our cutter. So I'll give it a wipe off the last time. And off we'll go cutting our scones again. And remember what I didn't do there, what I said we should do? Dip it in your flour so it doesn't stick. 1, 2, put that together. Grab the flour hands again. Grab a bit more. Just play with it a bit. Get it the height you want. And then off we'll go. Oh. Oh, did you see them juicy cranberries? Cut it. And that's my last scones. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 again. Oh, and spot on time. There's our cheese scones done. Woohoo! So there's our cheese scones. Oh, they look absolutely delicious. And they're so lovely when they're hot with some butter inside. And oh, look at my last one. It was a bit big. That one must be for me. So there's our cheese scones done. You know that sometimes they might need 12 to 15 minutes. Just check them. They should just bounce back a little bit in the middle if they're done. All right. So just a little bit and they should be done. Right, so they're done. So we've got our fruit scones now on the baking tray, and because they're finished, we can now put these in the oven. So again, a light spritz of your low calorie oil, and off we'll go to put them in the oven. So there they are in the oven, getting ready to cook. Timer on again, 12 to 15 minutes, depending on your oven. I'm going to put mine on for 13 this time. And there we'll go. So everyone, good luck with your scones, and remember to upload your photos to Twitter and Instagram with the hashtag #StAidansCanCook, hashtag Andrea's Cook With Me, and don't forget to put a new hashtag in this time for the Great British Bake Off Stand Up to Cancer. And I will put those details at the end of the video, as well as some numbers and texts where you can donate if you wish to. Okay, bye everyone, see you soon.